Okay, so here's the video for training hip internal rotation. So on this one right here, what you're gonna do is you're gonna try to wind up this back hip, so this trail leg. And to do that, a lot of times I'll see people kind of just rotate their spine. If you do that, you're not really creating any kind of internal rotation, wind up in this capsule, because you're trying to get the pelvis to rotate relative to the femur. So with that being said, we want to really make sure that we're really trying to, the cue I like to use, imagine you're wearing a belt buckle and you're really trying to rotate that belt buckle around this femur, and I can feel that a lot. It's already really tight and wound up. So you can think of that, or swinging a baseball bat or a golf club, but really rotating that pelvis again around this femur bone here. So this is how you want to set it up. You want to make sure you have a good 90-degree angle, knee and hip are in line, and then this creates a 90-degree coming off here, and that ankle is in line with the knee and not too far into knee flexion or too far into knee extension. So again, right here, I can keep trying to create some torque there, and I really feel that a lot. This hip is really tight and wound up, which is what we want. We want to hang out at this in-range position for around 30 seconds to up to 2 minutes, something like that. Once you kind of once you've hung out in the stretch long enough, then what I want you to do is you want to start to give a good contraction. So you want to start to drive force into this hip. Teach it how to be strong from here. So we're going to do a little contract relax method, which we call PAILs and rails. So PAILs is just going to be training the progressive side angle. So we're going to try to rotate out. Okay, so using those hip external rotators, so I'm going to drive the knee to the ground and then try to drive that ankle into the ground. 20% effort. We're going to ramp up slow, 40. I'm going to keep ramping. I'm going to start to get heavier on the foot, 60, 80, max effort. I'm trying as hard as I can to put a hole through the floor, as if I'm going to rotate this femur bone out of the stretch. I'm going to hold that for around 10 seconds. Then I'm going to relax. I'm going to try to rotate into the stretch more. Key is not to come out, to keep that time under tension. And then I'm going to drive my knee in the ground and try to lift, to try to spin this bone into internal rotation, work those internal rotator muscles of the hip that really pull the hip deeper into internal rotation. I'm going to hold that for 10 seconds, that contraction. Big key point is you got to stay in range. You want to make sure, a lot of people will kind of jolt the pelvis forward and really try to lift that foot off the ground. So they're compensating and cheating by doing that. You want to stay in range. You want to make sure that you don't move this and spit that pelvis forward at all. And the foot is not going to lift. It shouldn't. You're just firing that connective tissue at in range. So you hold that for 10 seconds, relax, and then you should get deeper. That's the contract relax method. After contracting, then you relax that tissue, and then you try to sink deeper into that tissue. So again, I'm trying to rotate that pelvis around that femur even more, okay? Now I even feel it deeper. So I feel this kind of lateral posterior stretch. Then I'm going to repeat that again for another set. So PAILs contraction pushing into the ground, rails contraction trying to lift the ankle off the ground.